Hey guys, it's Delora Dabbles here, and I couldn't help but just share my thoughts on the Dark Winds TV show. I've watched the first two episodes because you can watch the second episode early on AMC Plus. Basically, you get the new episodes a week before everyone if you watch it on AMC Plus. Anywho, so yeah, the first episode was very much from Listening Woman. Tony Hillerman's third book, with the helicopter at play in the trailer. That's what confused me about the trailer, because Dark Wind, the book, also has a helicopter in it that plays a key role, right? And so I was like, wait, there's like 3 different books going on in one. No, there's 2 different books going on in one. And the second episode, because during the first episode I was like, wait, what is this? Is this the lead up? This feels like the lead up to a different book. And as I was watching the second episode, I was like, oh my God, it's People of Darkness. People of Darkness is one of my favorite books by Tony Hillerman, because the murder mystery aspect of it is just so, you're not going to see it coming. You're not going to think of it, right? Even if you're reading the book, you're like, that sly fucking devil dog. Oh my God. I'm not going to say anything else. But here's what to expect from the TV show, though. The characters are very different. In the books, Lieutenant Leaphorn is a bit more portly, and Emma is the traditionalist. He's definitely more so urban, and he's not seen really wearing a traditional Navajo bun. He always has cropped hair. And it's one of the things that Jim Chi in the books didn't like about Leaphorn. He always thought Leaphorn tried too hard to act white around the FBI agents, right? And in Talking God, they go to Washington, D.C., and Leaphorn wears a suit, and Jim Chi is like, oh, you wearing a suit like they are. Okay, I see how you are. Right? Like Jim Chi kind of turns his nose up at him, because Jim Chi is extremely traditional. In the books, he often refers to himself as a sheep camp Navajo and not as a city Navajo, which apparently there is a difference. Anyway, in the TV show, Lieutenant Leaphorn wears a traditional Navajo bun. He is the traditionalist. Yeah, Jim Chi is the urbanized one. I was like, why did they switch them up like this? That's so weird. I don't know where they're going with it. I do see Jim Chi getting some kind of redemption arc, right? And there are some themes, like Tony Hillerman never pulled any punches in his novels, like I said before, about the way that Native Americans have been treated in this country and their attempted genocide. In the TV show, they actually talk about the forced sterilization of Navajo women. Boom, right there, first episode. And in the TV show, Emma's wife is a nurse at this gynecology office, right? She keeps an eye on the women, and she informs them in Navajo what the doctor plans on doing if they were to give birth in the clinic, which is sterilize them while they're still under anesthesia without their permission. And you find out at the end of episode 2, because this is not pertaining at all to the books, it's not really a spoiler, you find out that that's what happens to her. Something else in the TV show is they actually give Emma and Leaphorn a son. They never had children in the books. Also, the time period is a little bit strange. Tony Hillerman always wrote in contemporary time. So if you look at when a book was published, such as Listening Woman, his third novel, you will see that it was originally published in 1978, right? And so everything is contemporary to 1978 in this book. However, as the series progresses, he wrote 18 novels. As the series progresses, you start seeing car phones and beepers and eventually cell phones. By the time you get to the Talking God book, which I think is it's in the early teens, right? People have cell phones. So he always wrote in contemporary time. So that's why whenever a lot of the first few novels came out, it was just Lieutenant Leaphorn. And then as Jim Chi comes along, right, he's the rookie cop, right? Tony Hillerman has this habit of always having a rookie cop. And once you get through about 10 books with Jim Chi, boom, he introduces Officer Bernadette Manuelito, aka Bernie, aka my fave. And she is a rookie, while Jim Chi is a seasoned officer. Whereas in the TV show, Bernie is always there, like she has always been there. So definitely the time periods in which these books take place is all cattywampus in the TV show. So if you're expecting anything to be super similar to the books, no, this is definitely a reimagining of Tony Hillerman's detective novels. Something interesting about keeping it all in the same time period is that it helps the TV show keep continuity and keep interest, because we all know people love really complicated plot lines in their TV shows now. Everything has to be more and more and more complicated than the last TV show to keep people's interest. If you think of Lost and how many people still love and obsess over Lost, my mother. So now they're having these two things happen at the same time. They're actually making the oil explosion in People of Darkness. Lieutenant Joe Leaphorn's son dies in that explosion. They make it a lot more personal for Joe Leaphorn, which makes me believe that they're going to cut out that sheriff character whose brother passed away, the sheriff who never really got over it in another precinct over. They kind of shared jurisdiction of the pipeline, oil rig, whatever. And so I'm guessing they're cutting that sheriff out and having Joe Leaphorn's character fill that role of still obsessed with the case, can't see the forest through the trees for their grief. And instead of Joe Leaphorn solving the mystery, I'm guessing Jim Chi is. Now, again, Jim Chi is urbanized, and I am definitely sensing this huge redemption arc, right? And him coming back to the Navajo ways, right? Or maybe he never really strayed that far. Maybe it's just he was gone for a long time. Different things said in certain kind of ways. The FBI agent says something like, yeah, your old friends at the Buffalo Society, going back to Listening Woman, makes me think that they had Jim Chi in as like a plant in the Buffalo Society. So I'm wondering if I caught on in that dialogue there, and if that's what's going to happen. But yeah, having all three detectives present in the same, like, working on the case, all three together, I'm interested to see in how they juggle that, because I don't think Jim Chi is even in this one. No, Jim Chi's not in Listening Woman at all. And in People of Darkness, yeah, I think in People of Darkness, it's just Chi and not Leaphorn. Yeah, I think it's just Chi and Largo. But anywho, it'll be interesting to see how they juggle all three of these very big characters all working on the same cases. Because in the books, like I said, Jim Chi's not even in this one. And Officer Bernadette Manuelito hasn't even been thought of yet, timeline-wise. She's probably still a child. Because she comes to take the place of the rookie position, because Leaphorn retires, Jim Chi becomes like sergeant or whatever, and then Bernadette Manuelito is the rookie that comes up. So it's kind of like he has a rotating cast of detectives, and in the TV show Bloom, it's all taking place at the same time, which is going to be strange for me as a reader to watch, but I'm interested to see what happens. Also, it's looking like in the TV show, the Buffalo Society is not going to kidnap Boy Scouts. It seems as if they have kidnapped a Mormon family instead. When reading this, I definitely got action movie vibes from this particular book because of how outlandish it was that the Buffalo Society had kidnapped an entire troop of Boy Scouts. I was like, that's a bit much, y'all. So I think that they made a good decision in just having them kidnap a Mormon family instead. I'm interested to see how all of these will tie together, and if the Dark Winds plot, if the plot from that novel is going to come in at the end of the season somewhere. I'm interested to see. And I feel like the way that they started this out, they could really bring in any book at any time because they have all three detectives in at the same time. They could really skip around and do some more wonky stuff. But yeah, very interesting. What the TV show, I feel like, did absolutely right. And if you are a reader of the books, this is what you're gonna want to know, is that the vibe across the board. Sometimes at certain points in Tony Hillerman's novels, you get the spooks, right? You get that in the TV show too. It's a little heavy-handed with the witchy woman in the first two episodes. If you watch the series, you know who I'm talking about. She is, I guess, kind of a stand-in for just the talk of witchcraft. Because in the TV show, you never really meet, in the TV show, in the books, you never really meet a witch that convinces you that they're real, right? But there's a lot of talk and dialogue of what this person saw and what that person saw. And sometimes it's not a skinwalker, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a guy in a hazmat suit, right? And someone who's never seen a hazmat suit before is going to be like, the fuck is that? It's an alien, right? And things like that. But like Tony Hillerman always leaves you questioning in certain novels whether or not that person really has a connection with the other worlds and can see things, right? And whether or not, it was just good detective work, or this person knew something and just didn't say it, things like that. Like, he always leaves it up to your own interpretation of whether or not you want to believe in witchcraft. And the TV show is already developing that rapport of, is it real? Is it not? Who thinks it's real? Who thinks it's not real? Right? And it's very interesting to see Joe Leaphorn in the camp of thinking it's real. Although he doesn't ever say in the TV show yet, in the first two episodes, that he believes in witchcraft, he definitely believes that other people believe in witchcraft, right? Which is very pure to the book Leaphorn, right? Very much the Leaphorn that I know and love. But Leaphorn also detests witchcraft talk. If he hears people gossiping about witchcraft, like other police officers, he is very quick to nip it in the bud and tell them, you need to get back to your job. That's all nonsense, right? So it's very strange to see like Jim Chi doing that and Leaphorn being supportive of people's beliefs. Definitely a role reversal that I wasn't expecting. So that's just my thoughts. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and it wasn't too terribly rambly. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do these videos, but I am obsessed with Tony Hillerman. And whenever I was at work, it was funny. I was like, yeah, I was late to work last night. So whenever I got there, this girl was like, you haven't been here all night. She was a customer. I was like, oh yeah, I was an hour late because I was watching the Dark Wind premiere. And she just looks at me and I go, yeah, like they're based off of Tony Hillerman's novels. And I started to go into it. She goes, I love Tony Hillerman. And she tipped me so much money that night. And she kept calling me Murder Mystery instead of by my normal stripper name, which was kind of cute. So, anyway, until next time, happy dabbling and bye-bye.